So what I would recommend you to do is when we go outside, look behind you because the entrance is very beautiful. So I'm just going to tell you a little bit about what we're seeing here. So that is the entrance there, and those buildings over there, they're all accommodation for students. I live in one of those buildings there.
Oh, great.
Yeah, that building there on the left.
And you've got rooms sharing with other students?
I have there. My apartment has 5 rooms. There's 5 students, each with a single room, and then there is a communal living room and kitchen.
Okay.
But the apartments are very nice.
I
Also,
can
that
imagine.
building over there holds student accommodation. And then there is another building behind it which holds the scholars. So in Trinity there is a really old tradition of a scholarship called the Foundation Scholarship, and you take that in your second year, and it's for really, really good students. And if you are able to get this scholarship, you get free accommodation inside Trinity, and then you get also free university and free dinner. And the dinner is consumed over there in the Commons Hall. And there
So
is
scholarship, borsa di studio, quindi free food, free accommodation, tutto gratuito con la borsa di
and free
studio.
university.
And
as
free
well,
university.
for 5 years. So if you want, that also covers a master's degree, which in Trinity is very expensive. So it's very good, but also it is very, very difficult to get the scholarship. But a fun fact for you guys, the Foundation Scholarship is a very old tradition here in Trinity. So when it first was established, as part of the deal that you get in your scholarship, you would get, yes, free accommodation, yes, free dinner in Commons Hall, but also you would get a spot outside of Trinity to park your horse. Because at the time people did not have cars, they would have horses. So still now, because they didn't want to change the traditional scholarship, technically you would get a spot to park your horse outside of Trinity. Also, if you are a scholar, during your exams you can ask for a pint of Guinness, technically. But yeah, so basically, as you can hear, that is the Chapel of Trinity. And that also has a really old tradition. Back in the days, every day there would be a procession of the scholars and fellows from their accommodation to the chapel to go and listen to the service. That is not done anymore, but what is still done is before their dinner in the Commons Hall, one person has to recite some verses in Latin, okay? And every night before their dinner, they have to listen to these verses in Latin, okay?
How many students per year got a scholarship?
Well, for example, in my year, in my course, which in second year, when you do your scholarship, we had about 350 students. 0 got a scholarship.
So they were not up.
Well, obviously, generally, it's a little bit easier for a scientific course or degree rather than an arts degree, because the scholarship for arts students is essays, so you have to write opinions, and obviously that is very open to interpretation. It's very subjective. So in contrast to, for example, a math or science paper which has some results and it's yes or no. There's no interpretation in math. So generally what the statistics see is that scientific courses tend to do better in the scholarship than arts degrees. Although last year, I have a friend who did it last year and no one got it in her degree either, and she's doing general science.
Okay.
So it is getting harder and harder, also because the availability is decreasing, so it is increasing. But yeah, I guess it's worth a try, but it does take a long time and you have to do 4 extra exams, so it's a big commitment to do that. So the tower is also a very famous landmark in Dublin. If you look at any postcards, you will for sure see one of the tower. But what I'm going to say for sure, there's not many students around today, because if you come here during a weekday and there's only students around, you will not see one person going under the tower.
Yeah.
You don't see people going under the tower. And it's because there's a superstition around the tower that if you walk under and the bell rings, your exams will go very bad. So students stay very, very far away from
So
the
those
tower.
people probably weren't students.
No, for sure they weren't.